What is up, guys? Welcome to Fosterman's Live. Let's get into this. So, right now, what you see on my chart, this is ATAS, ATAS. For all you guys that are wondering, link in the description. You can get a free start plan with this, which is really cool. This is the order flow software of my choice. Okay, and the charts you are looking at is going to be the Delta profile charts. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Not much really going on here. Let me see, let me turn this off. So this setting right here, that shows you like all the numbers without shortening them down. So instead of saying 1K, it shows like this. So look at here, 1000 volume just here. Pretty insane, right? Pretty insane. Let me lock this so it doesn't move. That's the RTH right over here. So you can see we're quite escaped it, right? And this was inside London. I was looking at this RTH. So inside London, we were looking at this RTH session, which look at this, just got smashed through. Look at this daily POC right around here, which is crazy, right? With daily value area low. This current day, current week. See, current day right here. Got a good eye. See, got a good eye. But yes, so we have the giveaway going. You can join that free giveaway. Link in the description to join that, which will be really cool. Most of you guys will probably already have been entered, but if you have any questions about order flow or anything of the sorts, just hit me up and we can discuss anything. So looking over here, nothing really building up, right? So this at the 500 ticks. Let me go back to 1 minute. So let's see. Just making sure you guys can hear me loud and clear. Let me know if you can. But this is ATAS. Okay, so this is ATAS on the Mac version. If I just scroll, oh, you can't even see it on your screen. Sorry, guys. But yeah, this is ATAS, the Mac version. Really cool software. Really cool stuff. Trades. Let me add this. Trades. 20. Let me go to ellipse. Let me turn on this to max. It's pretty much identical to like yesterday. Let me pull something like this. Let me go over here. Let me turn on CBD. CBD, by the way, is just a really good way to gauge market sentiment. Obviously, you could like do other tools. So another cool tool is going to be like cluster stats, which is just going to show you like the statistics of each cluster. So it's like a table down here. Pretty sure I might have it on one of these tabs. But yeah, it's pretty handy, that's for sure. But I think CBD just does a little bit of a better job, in my opinion, of just seeing like what's going on. So you can see like we're around here, clear absorption, right? Clear. CBD's moving higher, prices not. Let me see something like this. Same area. That is just bananas. That is just bananas. Yeah, so anyway, inside these profiles, this is obviously the delta profile plus the bid in the ask, right? I like having the bid in the ask on as well, so I'm trying to realistically get a good workflow going on to where I could just share one template and all you guys can understand and see what I'm seeing without having to really worry about any of like your PC being a little bit slow or anything like that, right? Because it is quite demanding stuff, right? But seeing like where you could easily spot absorption, you know, there's like a million ways to spot absorption. There's not really a million, but there is a good few ways to spot absorption. One of them being CVD, right? So you can see right over here, you know, price making lower highs and CVD making higher highs, right? That's just one way to spot absorption. Another way is seeing a bunch of buying imbalances stepping in and getting no follow through. Another way is seeing big traders step in and no follow through. Another way is seeing like sort of these like P-shaped profiles and B-shaped profiles. So if I can find like a sell version of this, let me just go to those. This is esque. This is like very, you know, absorption-esque sort of style things. You can see over here, you know, we have this like a bunch of sellers here at the bottom and then just no follow through. So they were pretty much just absorbed, right? Let me go over here. Let me actually see around here. There was a, yeah, I think it's around here. So you can see right around here, this is what I was looking for. So right around here, you can see that this is that sort of B-shaped profile where there was a bunch of sellers right at the bottoms, right at these lows. There was actually as well, there was a bunch of sell imbalances, no follow through. You had that B-shaped profile, which usually you'll see, if you see like a B-shaped profile, you'll more than likely see these imbalances as well. They kind of go like hand in hand. And then if we go over here, and you can sort of see around here as well, this sort of P-shaped profile, right? And where it looks like a P, that's just the easiest way. The most, there's no drawing tool yet, so hopefully they add that. No, there's no drawing tool. But whatever. Sort of like just a P shape, right? So most of you guys already know what a P looks like. This is what that would look like, right? And there's a bunch of buyers at the highs, pretty much just to get absorbed, right? And you can actually see just purely equal highs right here. You know, finished auction as well, if you know, you guys trade them sort of things. I don't necessarily look at like finished and unfinished auctions, even though you know, they can give like right over here finished auction, finished auction, finished auction. And you can see here finished auction, auction, finished, unfinished, unfinished, or no, finished, finished, unfinished, finished. You know what I mean? Usually they give, they're kind of like magnets, right? So there is that. But yeah, so obviously if you guys have any questions, let me know. But yeah, like just even that is just such a cool feature from Mattis. If like, you know, going from like candlestick straight into the delta profiles, and you could also go in from here and then scroll down and click additional footprints, and it'll show you like an additional footprint. And they have a bunch of options, right? It's not like, you know, you can do volume trades, time. You know, if you do by trades for the content. Let me see, time profile, right? So you can see like where we spent that time, mostly anyway. But bid and ask ladder, right? And then you could also do delta, I suppose. And then you could do, instead of delta, you could do heat map by delta. And then you could go something like this. I don't really like that. Where is the other one? Am I blind? I think I'm blind. Let me see. There it is. Right. And you'll be able to see like pretty straightforward, like okay, here there was buyers winning and stuff. You know, I just prefer the Delta profile to this realistically, but you could actually use this as well. But I just prefer the, like, you can see right over here, right? Delta is red, red, green, for the bid and ask profile, right? And then you've got the sort of Delta profile. So you can see here red, red, correlates, green correlates, red correlates. This was even, right? So that's pretty nice. This was even as well. All red, this is all red, right? So, you know, you could use that, which is also really cool. But again, I just prefer using the Delta profile. So it's realistically just getting like a nice consolidated information, and then using that information. So like just on this chart alone, I'm like just literally what I have. So I have the big trades on CBD, Delta profile, bid and ask profile, with just this alone, and I've got imbalances on, right? So it looks clean. I suppose, you know, it's definitely a lot cleaner than some other order flow charts, right? But the information here is just insane. So you can see like whether sellers are like right around here. Look at this. Look at all these just a bunch of sells down here, right? All getting just purely absorbed. And let me actually pull this because that would be interesting. Yeah. You know, so seeing like, you know, tapping into this level, so tapping this level, bunch of buyers, you're seeing someone buying imbalances. Look at this right over here, bunch of buyers right here, 120 buyers right just alone right here. And then we'll come back down, look at all these selling imbalances, a bunch of sells, just purely absorbed right at that POC, and then off to the races. What sort of reaction do we get from here? You know, let's actually pull some targets, right? So you could pull something like that. So for example, right? Say you see all this, and then start grabbing into the here. Wow. You know, you're seeing a really, really nice sort of area. Let's see. Look at this right here. Oh my gosh. Oh. So any questions, guys, hit me up. You can get to me inside the Discord or on this live. Boom, 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 boom. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Nice. Let's see what we're working with. So Right. Surprised this hasn't shifted yet. I'd say we'll get a shift any moment here for the Depop. So there's the daily value area low. I'm pretty sure that this daily point of control will shift pretty shortly. So over here we have the delta plus the volume profile. Let's see. Let's see what we're dealing with. So yeah, this is delta profile chart, as you can see. So this right here is delta profile chart. Pretty standard stuff. You know, nothing major, guys. Nothing major. And then, of course, we have the this chart over here, which is the daily value area, high, low, and POC, which is over here. Plus, you could just see like the delta from here as well, which is really nice. And you can see these sort of spots as well. They're usually pretty crazy, right? So that's just like a low volume node plus the delta. So you see here, this is a sell, low volume node. So there's a bunch of sellers down here as well. But yeah, so this is just the delta profile with the volume profile anchored to the daily, and then over here we have the RTH, daily value are high, low, and POC anchored to the RTH session. Alright, so this is the full session. This is just the RTH down here. That's pretty much it for the profile side of things. Of course, right, we also have the imbalances right around here. So these are just the sell imbalances, buy imbalances, all that good stuff, which is also really cool. But yeah, like I said before, I'm working on getting a nice cleaner chart. So if you guys order for the shooters, let me know. Let me know what you think would be a cool addition. Obviously, I'm open to input. Look at see all these sellers down here as well. Big trades, bunch of sellers. Just let's pull this profile. Pretty crazy, right? We got this profile, boom. You know, had a bunch of sellers absorbed. Tap this profile. Nothing likely down from here, right? Let's check this out over here. Alright, so we have this. I'm pretty sure we got a tap here, right? So we already kind of went over that. This sort of area right around here. Again, you know, these sort of POCs just get hit through. There's that down movement from here. Look at the CBD rising. This is going to pop. Couldn't have said it quicker. I could not have said it quicker if I tried. Just popping down. But yeah, so you know we're if you see all around here, this is so just check. Look at that pop right down. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Yeah, so 80 positive delta in here. Like, look at this, right? This is a whole range. You look at this, right? 80 positive delta. And we're going down. That's what you expect. Like when you break these sort of lows, you just get that quick flush. So that was a 2.6k flush. This is realistically last resort. But let's see what we're kind of dealing with here. I don't really like putting the value area highs and lows on this. I think it's just more distracting than anything. To be honest, you know, a lot of false positives and stuff, but like, you know, areas like this, look at this. You know, you're just getting the top of the POC down, right? And then the whole time we're moving down, right, it just boom, boom, boom. Buyers are still buying. You know what I mean? Which is just insane. So these, you know, see all those buyers that were in here, they just got squeezed. Okay, I think we just hit that POC right there now. So let's re-pull this range. Yeah, so we just hit that POC, so let's see what happens. Let me just pull this whole entire sort of area right around here. So let's see, so you're seeing a bunch of buyers step in at these highs. Psychological around here. Let's see, you want to see some sell aggression stepping in. You know, maybe some absorption, sell aggression. 139 positive delta, just insane. Okay, look at this. We're actually getting some absorption here, right, from the CBD side of things. Just at that buying balance, just at that POC. Let's see what happens right now. Look at all these buyers. Wow. If you want to see this hold, you're going to need to see some sellers step in, right? So far, just buyers stepping in like crazy. Buyers stepping in like crazy. Crazy, my buyers. So, just, there's that Deepak movement. Remember I said to you guys before, I was like, I'm surprised this daily POC hasn't moved. Well, there we go. The daily POC has moved because it was way up here before. This was like literally at the start of the day. I was around here, so look at this first shift. We started sort of dandering up around here, then you can see that, you know, the daily POC and stuff like that will end up shifting. Daily value area low will probably be around these levels, 4267s. You'll more than likely see the value very low, shift around up to there. Do you teach this for free? Anytime I'm live, you can just ask any questions. So that's a good thing. So whenever I'm live, just ask whatever questions you need, especially in the Discord and stuff like that. I'm more than happy to help, especially like new order flow traders and stuff. We have a bunch of free episodes on the YouTube, which is also really cool. But yeah, so we actually have a poll running right now inside the Discord of whether or not for certain videos. So if you want a certain video, just go vote on that Discord poll, and then I'll make it this weekend. But yeah, so anything you're kind of struggling with, so like if you're struggling with like strategy development, learning the tools, whatever it is, I could pretty much just help you there. Like it doesn't really affect me too much. So yeah. But look at all these buyers stepping in. Crazy amount of buyers. 22%, 18%, 20%, 7%. So yeah. What I actually might do, just avoid. It's just crazy. So what I could do is go over here and add one of these. So let me move this over here, move this one back over here. I'm gonna lock this up. I'm gonna go into here, put this to regular trading hours, location on the left, left to right. Delta over volume, visualize mode, border, profile color white, press OK, and let's see. So this is the RTH. If I just go inside here, let me change these RTH sessions. So change this to RTH POC. RTH. And this platform that I'm using right now is called ATAS, ATAS. And then again, guys, the giveaway, just join the Discord. You can enter for free. If you need any help, just at me and I will get back to you. So RTH and then the regular trading horse. So if I just go something like this and lock this, well, then there we go. Okay, and if I go over here and go to CVV and the chart, yeah, and then if I go over to here again and take away cluster stats, chart. Kind of like that at the bottom. Yeah, kind of like that at the bottom. I think that is a little bit cleaner. Let me turn on volume. Volume, session delta. Delta's not bad either. Now let me go over here and turn on these settings. Show description. Apply. Couldn't stop the mouse on. Crap. Sorry guys. Yes, I will. I'll need to figure that one out later. But yeah, that is probably annoying. But yeah, I'll fix that. I will get that fixed. Delta volume. Okay. Delta profile this. Alright. What else? So we go to like maximum levels. So let me just go down. So if I just put on daily lines and maximum levels. Current day POC. Yeah, true. Right, so let's figure this one out. So obviously if you have any questions, just ask them. Initial balance. Can I add the initial balance to here? Because that would actually be really handy. Okay, let's see. Candle and bar. I actually could also make this a candle. That's also really handy. Oh yeah, buddy. So I can also make this. So let me go over here and make this RTH. Initial balance of settings. Yikes. Settings. Initial balance. Where are we at? Settings. Let's start on one. So for some reason the initial balance isn't working. But that would actually be really nice, seeing the RTH initial balance. So I definitely am going to add that to the list. Oh my gosh. I was looking at the volume profile. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. So let me go RTH initial balance white. Alright. So what I will do is get that on, and then I'll do the initial balance. Cause that would be really clean. Yeah, that would be actually really clean. That just means like, okay, quickly just seeing like where the initial balance and stuff is. Oh my gosh, we've been live for 42 minutes. Right. Well, I think this is going to wrap this up. That's for sure. But like I said before, guys, if you want any more videos, hit me up on the Discord because I'm going to make any videos. So if you need like help, like you know, doing whatever it is you need help with, hit me up because I will more than happy help you guys. I know what it was like at the start of the order flow trading space, so just hit me up in the Discord. I will see you